noches. Does it work for you? Okay. Gracias a todos por estar aquí. Bueno, ella es Ma Anand Sheela, quería decir su nombre completo. Supongo que muchos la conocéis de Wild Wild Country. De hecho, pensaba hacer un chiste al principio, sentarme y decirle que no podía beberme este agua si estaba ella cerca, por miedo. Era un chiste para probar los que habéis visto la serie y los que no. Se lo he contado hoy comiendo y le he dicho, ¿te importa que lo haga? Y me ha dicho, es tu chiste. Para los que no hayáis visto la serie o la hayáis visto, lo que sea, vamos a ver un momento el tráiler y luego charlamos con Sheela sobre cosas y si hace falta ella os cuenta lo que necesitemos saber extra, que es mucho.
Everybody felt they were there at the beginning of the great experiment, like we were the chosen people.
I'm here in one of the largest ranches in the Northwest. Today, it's Rajneeshpuram because a prominent Indian guru and his followers bought it.
Our vision was to create a community
Based on compassion and sharing.
Bhagwan's agenda was simply to raise the consciousness of humanity. That was his goal.
America was land of promise. It was my conviction we will have no problems.
I don't think America has a place for these people.
Everyone in Antelope mistrusts Rajneesh.
I want that guru and his evil influence out of my city.
They're run by satanic power.
There is talk of vigilantes who may seek revenge on the Rajneeshis.
A bomb went off in the middle of the community.
More than 60 followers evacuated.
It was a catastrophe.
Mostly unjust, terrified.
If I didn't take measures to protect our community, no one else would do it.
We call upon the governor to disarm this cult's army now.
If the government does decide to get you, they're going to get you.
Who would poison a whole town?
The Rajneeshis set the stage for a big outbreak to influence the election.
They had no evidence.
They were facing immigration fraud, smuggling.
The Rajneeshis came this close to murdering a presidential appointee.
There is bias, there is prejudgment, religious discrimination, and this is democracy. I've had enough of it.
We were going to mount a full-scale assault.
We will be ready to protect ourselves.
I'd grown up understanding thou shalt not kill. What had happened?
There's darkness in all of us. Doesn't make you a bad person.
La primera pregunta, Sheela, es ¿cómo te sentiste retratada después de ver el documental? ¿Te identificaste? ¿Sentiste que habías dicho lo que querías contar?
When I saw the documentary, I was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. What a wonderful project we were involved in. I was also overwhelmed with the hatred that was directed towards me personally from our own community and the outside community. And all I could feel is thankful to the existence for protecting me from that negativity, that hatred.
Bueno, además de la vida que te protegió, también tenías armas para protegerte. De hecho, tenemos una imagen, no sé si podemos verla, de Sheela armada. Una pistola también ayuda.
Well, gun may help, but existence helps much more. And this faith, this conviction I always had. We wore gun as a deterrent, not to use it.
Tenéis que defenderos.
It was necessary. Our ranch was burned 4 times from the locals. Our hotel was bombed. People had come to kidnap Bhagwan and children in our community. Protection was necessary, and the local government was not ready to assist us.
¿Por qué tanto odio, Sheela? ¿Por qué os odiaban tanto? ¿Qué habéis hecho?
Why do people hate? Not what I have done. Why are we negative? What are we afraid of? It is the fear that we have that puts us in a panic mode, and this panic mode reacts as a hatred.
De hecho, llegasteis a Estados Unidos porque tú habías vivido en Estados Unidos desde el 68, incluso tú viviste ahí la época más gloriosa y más libre de Estados Unidos. En India tuvisteis que salir porque también os sentíais presionados por la comunidad. Y tu idea de ir a Estados Unidos fue porque confiabas en un país de libertades, una constitución garantista de ese derecho, y te encontraste con que Estados Unidos no era la tierra de las libertades que tú soñabas, ¿no?
US was a dreamland in 60s, 70s, when I was going to university. It was land of the free, where freedom was worshipped. I always felt that here everybody's protected. When we arrived in USA, I had no doubt that Constitution would not protect us. We were there with our rights, and later on realized that Constitution is only on the paper and bigotry is reality.
Tú eras la mujer más poderosa, de hecho en este libro, cuyo título, por cierto, me encanta, Don't Kill Him, no le matéis, era la mujer más poderosa de la secta. De hecho, tú en tu libro te defines como la reina de la secta, al comienzo del libro. ¿Cuál era la doctrina de la secta? ¿De qué proclamaba? ¿Qué hacíais?
Cult is a reaction of fear. When you don't understand something, you call it a cult. People didn't understand us. People didn't understand why we were there. And it was nobody's business. They do what they want to do, we do what we want to do. We were living in a free country. And yet, the locals made it their business who comes and who doesn't come, which is unfair. We paid a good price for our land and we moved in. They had nothing to say. We were 19 miles away from the nearest neighbor.
Pero en tu libro, Please Don't Kill Him, tú hablas de que, Bhagwan tenía prácticas no muy legítimas con quienes estaban en la comunidad.
I have never said that the Bhagwan's practice is not legitimate. I think you didn't read it right.
I'm going to read it with you.
Please.
Okay? The sanyassins participated in sexual activities, emptied their pockets, and proved their devotion by expensive gifts and the like. This exploitation was dirty, ugly, and repulsive, especially coming from Bhagwan.
What I speak about it is the manipulation of Bhagwan. Sannyasins all wanted to become enlightened instantly. It is like in old times in Egypt, where the temple priests were selling heaven for money. And I felt that was not correct. That was my feeling. People were buying him the presents, gifts, not against their will. It was to buy enlightenment. But it is not a bad practice or good practice. It is simply not my cup of tea. So try to read from the point of view, from understanding, instead of opinionate. Don't create an opinion. Remain open. Look at the positivity that though we are accused of being a cult, though we were accused of being brainwashed, I was still thinking. My logic had not departed from me. My logic had not left me. My head was functioning completely.
¿Y por qué te fuiste?
I left because it was question of my integrity. I was given the job of protecting Bhagwan. I was given the job of protecting his commune and his teachings. Bhagwan engaged himself in drugs. When I found out, I confronted him, and confronted him with all my strength. And I said, Bhagwan, this is not right. This will put us in a dangerous situation with the government, your teachings, and your health. He told me simply, you stay out of it. For me to stay out of it, on one hand, and to have responsibility of this protection of him was not possible. Either I complain and do something about it, or I walk away. This conflict took 6 months before I walked away in me, to analyze it, to digest it, to feel that it is the time to go. I left. I did not compromise on my conviction that what Bhagwan was doing was wrong. I stood up for my conviction. I stood up for my belief.
Bhagwan te acusó de haber promovido, intentado o pedido a alguien de tu confianza que asesinara a su médico personal. ¿Fue él o fue alguien más quien inventó eso?
Let me explain to you the legal situation. I have been doing today and yesterday over 10 interviews. At a stretch, 3 hours, 4 hours of interviews. Every interviewer was so occupied with this legal situation I landed in. Bhagwan was angry with me that I decided to walk out. He had a schism in his movement, first time. After all these years of him building up his movement. To avoid the schism, the best way to hang on to his people, his sanyassins, was to create doubt. The moment you have doubt in your mind, you're ready to believe anything. And who is better to create doubt about than Sheela? Everybody wanted my position. When I became Bhagwan's secretary, when he chose me to be his secretary, it was the position where you come closest to Bhagwan. And this closeness, every one of us desired. We all loved him. Every one of us was somewhere jealous of me. Naturally, him throwing accusations of different things was easy to accept, easy to say, yeah, Sheela is the problem. Sheela was on an ego trip. Sheela was the one who was in a power trip. Try to do the work that I did. Then you will know what is a power trip. Try to be as loyal as I was to him. Try to think what you can do. Look inside yourself. People have accused me, and this gentleman has been asking me the whole afternoon, but you must have done something wrong for these people to accuse you of it.
No, I didn't say so.
Almost
No, I didn't.
implying that, okay? So now I interpret you.
Okay, very well, as I did with your book.
Right.
Okay.
So, by accusation, you don't become a criminal. By government offering you immunity against your crimes, and you are ready to be a government witness and say whatever they want to hear, you cannot make somebody a criminal. I was charged of heinous crimes. I was charged and locked up in a prison for 4.5 years, of which 39 months I served my full term. Now, I request all of you good people, and you too, leave me alone.
Okay.
In plain words,
That's the Sheela I wanted to say.
if you have doubt, live with your own doubts. Don't dump it on me.
¿Tú te acuerdas lo que le respondiste a un periodista hace muchos años cuando te preguntó por ese intento de asesinato en televisión? ¿Quieres que lo veamos?
Please.
Vamos a verlo.
He says you tried to poison his doctor, his dentist, his caretaker, that one of your assistants jabbed his doctor. jabbed his doctor in the butt with a poison needle.
That's very nice. Did she do a good job?
The doctor apparently is still alive.
Then obviously she didn't do a good job. And I guarantee if she was my assistant, she would have done a good job.
Now I remember.
Now you remember.
And this is the proof. This is my story. When we undertook something, we did it well. What can I say?
Sheela, y después de todo esto, tú te fuiste, pero le seguiste queriendo.
I still love him today.
Y cuentas que todo lo que hiciste por él fue por amor.
That's correct. Everything I did, the building of the city, taking care of his people, taking care of him, was all labor of love.
¿Tenías sueldo como secretaria?
I had no salary. Nobody had salary in Rajneeshpuram. Or even in Pune when we were working, our salary was a bed and the food. No other things.
Pero, es decir, trabajabais gratis para un negocio millonario.
That's right. I was generous.
Llámalo generosidad, llámalo esclavitud.
No, I don't call it a slavery.
¿Por qué?
And it was generosity of love. In love, you do things that you don't even think of monetary gain of. Monetary gains are not everything. We were there near Bhagwan to learn from him. And when you learn something, you have to pay Guru Dakshina. This is an old Indian tradition. When you go to a guru, you learn with him. You live in his ashram, in his community. You take care of daily chores like you do at home. And when you have learned, you offer something to Guru. I offered my character to him to assassinate. And I still sit straight here at age of 70. I will continue to remain straight just the way I am now and direct. I will not use euphemism. I will not falsely make things pretty.
Me pareces brillante, muy inteligente, lo hemos hablado antes, cuando hemos comido yo te he dicho que mi miedo era que no me sedujeras, era el mayor miedo que me dabas. Pero hay una cosa en tu discurso que me da más miedo aún, y es el amor puede justificar cosas terribles, ¿no?
I don't see the love as you see it. There is a difference in understanding and definition of love. The love that I felt, love that I feel, is an offering. It is so much that you simply give, you simply offer. And love is never a trade that I give you, you give me this. Most of the relationships fall apart because they become a trade. Someone wants security, someone wants someone to take care of the household, and compromise, even sell their soul. When they are unhappy, they ignore it. And that is not my idea of love. My idea of love is unconditional offering.
Y un ofrecimiento incondicional y un amor incondicional que tú le diste a Bhagwan por lo que sentías para montar una comunidad donde se juntaban dos de las cosas que yo creo que más daño han hecho al mundo, que son la religión y el capitalismo.
Try to understand the religion makes you fearful, or one is afraid of religion because you stop thinking, you just believe. Here we are talking not of a religion in those terms. We called ourselves a way of life. When I met Bhagwan and earlier years of Bhagwan, before we moved to USA, it was a way of life. It was a philosophy. We all shared the same thoughts. Then Bhagwan needed a visa to stay in USA. His visa application was under the category of men of exceptional ability and religious leader, because you can interpret way of life as a religion. Now, to comply with men of religion, you have to have a religion. So, Bhagwan created a religion. You have to have a Bible. So Bhagwan dictated a book called Book of Rajneeshpuram. Then you have to have festival days. There was a festival, fixed dates were created. There has to be an academy of the religion, so he created Academy of the Religion. There has to be a high priest, so he declared me the priestess, high priestess. And he even designed my clothes, and I appeared in those clothes to address audience like you. So it was more a practical solution to become a religion. Otherwise, Bhagwan had always spoken about established religions. If you read Bhagwan's books or listen to his discourses, he always speaks about religion is a business. Vatican is a business. Any religion, Hinduism is a business, Buddhism is a business. Religions are alive when the creator of the religion is still living, and fragrance of his is still smellable, touchable, that is then alive. And then it goes in hands of interpretations. It dies.
Pero por lo que cuenta Sheela, en realidad, es decir, lo que hace Bhagwan es inventarse todos estos elementos de religión por cuestiones administrativas. Entonces, ¿qué había de verdad en su dogma?
I did not understand your complete question. Please again.
Otra vez. Que lo que cuentas de que él se inventa la religión, crea la Biblia, todos los elementos que necesita para ser considerado religión por cuestiones administrativas en Estados Unidos, en realidad es algo que hace por eso, por razones prácticas. Pero ¿dónde estaba la verdad de la doctrina? Porque esto lo usa para salir del paso.
The truth is, we followed Bhagwan. For us, Bhagwan was more important than the creation of the religion. Creation of the religion was a paper trail. It was demonstration of the paper trail. But we followed his teachings. And for us, his teachings were more profound and prominent. We lived a communal life. I still live communal life as I sit among you. Communal life was his big experiment, and it was fully successful.
Siempre hablas de Bhagwan y nunca de Osho. ¿Por qué?
I only knew Bhagwan. I didn't know Osho. He became Osho after I left, maybe to disassociate himself with the scandals that he had created after my departure. I do not know, I never had opportunity to ask him. That is my thinking, that is my analysis.
¿Tú eras consciente cuando estabas allí de que había gente que a lo mejor había arruinado su vida por estar en la comuna, o era como ser Boy Scout?
I don't know how can anyone ruin their life by being involved in creative work. I find it hard to believe or accept that there are people who blame others for their own weaknesses. People who were near Bhagwan, they came out of their freedom, and doors were open to go whenever anyone wanted to go. I left, and I'm your example. Nobody stopped me. So I have to say, think for yourself before you believe something or before you create your opinion. Be intelligent. And I'm sure you are all very intelligent. Don't give away to negativity and doubts immediately. I remember one of the very big teachings of Bhagwan to me personally, he used to say, Sheela, when in doubt, say yes. Be positive. And it works.
Hablas de la libertad que tenían los miembros de la secta de estar allí, y antes hablabas también de los problemas de Bhagwan con las drogas. Había drogas ahí, ¿no? Quiero decir que no solo se drogaba Bhagwan, que yo he visto a la gente.
The only drug that was in Rajneeshpuram that Bhagwan took, and a couple of people in his house took. No sanyassins that I know took drugs. Drugs were against his teachings. To be meditative, you have to be aware. If you intoxicate yourself in drugs, you cannot be aware. You cannot be meditative. Plus, we had drug dogs in the entrance, so when outsiders came or the traveling sannyasins came, all the baggages, all the sannyasins were sniffed by the dogs, so there were no drugs. And that was Absolutely so. Otherwise, government would have cracked us already before.
Hay un episodio en el documental donde se habla de un momento en el que reclutáis gente sin hogar para llevar a Oregón y tenerlos como fuerza de voto para tomar el poder. Hay mucha tela aquí. Y allí, una de las cosas que te quiero preguntar sobre esto, allí se habla de que como muchos de ellos generan conflicto y se ponen agresivos, les ponen droga en la cerveza. Cuando viste el documental, ¿qué pensaste de eso? ¿Lo sabías?
No, I didn't know any about it. I do know about the homeless program. We had brought homeless people for voting purposes, which is an old tradition in presidential elections in America. It is not new. All presidential elections use the homeless for voting purposes. Nobody criticizes them, but they criticize Rajneeshis. It is true that there were these homeless people, some of them were psychotic. Even I was attacked by one of the psychotics at that point when they were there. All of these people were brought to Rajneeshpuram with a return ticket. So if they do not like it, they can go anytime. They were all explained that they will have to fit into the structure that we have in Rajneeshpuram. So they were aware of the structure ahead of time. And there were some people were violent. Naturally, they had to be put outside the ranch. They had to go back to where they came from. Now, the nearest bus station was 60 miles away from ranch. And people say, yeah, we just dropped off the people at the bus station. But that's where you drop off the people who have bus tickets. There were no trains there, otherwise we would have brought them to the train station. There are many things were said after I left. Bear in mind the ranch had 7,000 sanyassins living there. There were 400 department heads. They had their assistants, and it went many people. Now, if somebody does something, doesn't mean Sheela has told them to do it. But often the name Sheela worked like magic. When somebody says Sheela is said, nobody asks question. And we have to think again, bit with open mind. We all live in community. We all are subject to politics. All kinds of politics, family politics, friendship politics, economic politics. And you yourself know how situations get muddled up and how blame game continues. So I would request and tell people who accuse me, you are most welcome to accuse me. My shoulders are big. For 35 years, I lived this reality. If you stop accusing me, I won't sleep well at night. My shoulder will be unburdened. But think for yourself. I sit here in front of you, I look at you in your eyes, you're looking at in my eyes. You decide for yourself. Don't believe what people say.
Sheela, pero ¿no es contradictorio este mensaje de que pensemos por nosotros mismos, que nos diga alguien como tú, que estuvo encargándose de cumplir la voluntad de Bhagwan durante tantos años?
Please repeat the question. I didn't
¿No es contradictorio que nos pidas que pensemos por nosotros mismos cuando tú te dedicabas a no pensar, sino a cumplir la voluntad de Bhagwan, tú y todos los que estabais en la secta, o la Rajneesh?
Bear in mind that I was Bhagwan's secretary. It was my job to listen to him. It was
No era tu trabajo porque no te pagaba.
We had a different value of payment.
Tú eres buenísima en capitalismo.
We didn't function monetarily. We were capitalist in our spending, but work was labor, love of labor. We paid through our love. And there are two different denominations, two different currencies.
No.
For you not.
No para mí, Sheela.
No, it is your...
Y respeto la tuya,
it is your value that you work only for money. For me, even today, I work 7 days a week, and I get paid for 5 days. 2 days I put in extra. I get paid for 9 hours a day, and I am 24 hours available to my patient. So this is, again, labor of love for my patient. And I do not require money more than what I get. In Switzerland, life is expensive. I need to pay my health insurance. I need to do this. So I require some money to take care of the things. But I don't require money to become overnight rich. And working hard is my pleasure. Why not? And why would I only work when somebody pays me? I have fun with my work. And having fun is my payment.
Sí, pero si lo que discutíamos solo es que en el caso de Bhagwan, él no era tu jefe porque no te pagaba. Otra cosa es que tú trabajes todo lo que quieras por placer, pero no era tu jefe.
He was my boss. Excuse me if I tell you that. I know my reality. And he was a no-nonsense boss. Very exact. He knew what he wanted from his secretary. He was very clear. He had his agenda very clear. And it was my honor that he chose me as his secretary. He had thousands of people more qualified than me to choose from. And he chose me. I hit the jackpot.
¿Imaginas que hubieras tenido otro jefe? Imagínate que hubieras trabajado para Hillary Clinton. ¿Habrías trabajado para Hillary Clinton?
No. I would not have worked for Hillary Clinton or Obama, and definitely not for the man who is there now. I was not a politician, and I'm still not a politician. That's not my taste.
¿Y para Nike?
No. I would not have worked for any corporation. I'm more a person who requires a possibility to present my ideas, possibility to think for myself. And still, I had a boss who allowed me to present my ideas to him. Sometimes he said no, sometimes he said yes, it's a good idea. And that openness, that give and take, was important.
¿Echas de menos ese tiempo en que eras tan poderosa?
I'm powerful even today. I have been informed by Spanish journalists that I have become an icon. I have become a feminist icon. And what a bigger honor I could have. There is even a bigger honor than being a secretary of Bhagwan, that people trust me to be an icon.
¿Por qué crees que están todos aquí para verte? ¿Por qué estamos aquí? ¿Qué crees que despierta el interés por ti?
This question I would like to put it to audience. Why are you here? What do you want to know about me? You ask me. Has someone questioned directly to me? Would you like to tell me why you are fascinated with me, if you are fascinated, or why you hate me, if you hate me? Anyone? Yes, please, your opinion I'm open to. I'm sorry.
No te oímos, perdónanos. ¿Alguien puede acercar un micro de mano? Es que no estamos oyendo nada. Perdón por este momento como fuera de control.
¿Puedo acercarme
No
más,
problem.
si quieres? Can I come closer? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
May I talk in English or Spanish?
Lo que quieras.
Okay. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Okay. My question was about your personal opinion. Let's assume yours was actually a cult. Okay, a cult. What's actually the difference between your cult and, for example, capitalism? Isn't capitalism actually a cult as well? But it's just because it's all of us that were into it. We don't treat it like a cult.
The way I see it, any idea that people don't understand or have sympathy with it, they call it a cult. And cult is a word that is to put down something instead of trying to understand and raise it.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Pero no sabemos por qué le fascinas.
Well, I don't know either why you are fascinated by me.
Pero ¿tú esperabas ser tan protagonista del documental cuando lo estabas grabando y parecer la más lista de todos?
No, I didn't expect that I would be the main role. I didn't expect that I would come out smarter than everybody. And I didn't expect I was a big role in Bhagwan's life also. But today I can say, yes, I had an important role to play. And here too, I have an important role to play because of you. You somehow put me in a position of importance. I thank you all for that.
Sheela, ¿has seguido en contacto durante estos años con el resto de miembros de la comunidad?
No, I live fairly isolated life together with my patient. When I left Bhagwan, I burnt the bridges behind me and moved forward. And I hope all of you will also move forward.
Entonces, si hacía mucho que no sabías de ellos, ¿qué pensaste de ellos o qué sentiste cuando les viste hablando en el documental después de tantos años? ¿Les viste mayores?
Well, two people I didn't recognize. And one I recognized because that person looked the same as when we were in Rajneeshpuram. The one who looks the same is Shanti Bhadra, the woman who says that I told her to commit a murder of somebody or that. She warmed me. She warmed my heart. She was a dear friend of mine. And to see her healthy and doing well touched me. The other two people, it took me a long time to recognize that was this lawyer. I said, who is this guy? And I keep thinking, then after a couple of series, it dawned on me who he was because somewhere they use his sannyas name. I said, huh? So, I didn't recognize. If I would have seen him on the streets, I would not know. And the other one was Sunshine. I didn't remember either. I remember her as a young girl, but after getting older like me, she's still younger than me, much younger than me. I didn't recognize, but they used her name Sunshine, so I knew who she was.
Y tiene la sensación de que el personaje de Bhagwan en el documental realmente no parece un sabio muy atractivo, ¿no? No sé, creo que no le conocí, tú le conociste y le amaste, pero como espectador yo no vi nada fascinante.
Yeah, I think it's different eyes. You're looking from your experience of life and your viewpoint, and I looked at through mine, and my eyes fell in love with him. I didn't need a reason. I didn't need that it was his eyes or feet or hand or how he talked. I simply fell in love. And that is what love is all about, that's why we call love is blind, because it doesn't see anything.
Y a veces ni escucha, ¿no? Porque estuvo varios años callado.
He wasn't silent for a few years. he was silent for a few months when we left, maybe 6 weeks before we left India. And he was silent and appearing in public situation in silence. But privately, he was seeing people that he was interested in, privately visitors that he was interested in. He saw them and spoke with them. He spoke with his household people. He spoke with some of my assistants. A group of us would go together and sit among us. Sit and he will talk, give instructions.
Y mientras él permanecía en silencio y cuando no también, tú eras la gran portavoz de la secta y de hecho hacías tours por todas las televisiones. Y hay una cosa que me llama mucho la atención tras ver el documental y es saber cómo eras tan buena en la tele. ¿Quién te enseñó a ti a hacer tele?
I had a good teacher, Bhagwan. He was my teacher. He watched most of my television appearance. Before Oregon, I wasn't acquainted with televisions and things. And he started training me how to present myself. That was your question.
Yeah. Si quieres, vamos a ver un pequeño vídeo donde tú te convertiste en icono pop, casi en el primer meme de hace 30 años, cuando hablaste de las tough titties. Veamos las tough titties de Sheela, por favor.
What can I say? Tough titties.
But Sheila's best remembered for an interview with Ian Leslie and 2 famous words.
Sheela, whatever your plans are, we don't want the Rajneeshis, we don't want the orange people in our town.
What can I say? Tough titties.
That one comment got so much airplay, and that was the call in the playground. Anytime something went wrong, it was tough titties.
This is probably my only chance on TV to say tough titties.
Tough titties.
Sure, the producer must have been sitting there going, yes, this is great television.
Tough titties.
Tough titties. It's tough titties.
Tough titties.
Tough titties.
Tough titties.
It was an Australian colloquialism, tough titties. And I was in Australia supporting our community in Australia, which was having neighbor problems, same as we were having in Oregon. And it was Bhagwan's approach not to compromise your rights. When somebody violates your right, you be vocal. And be very strong. And I couldn't find any other word than tough titties, and I used it.
Estamos casi terminando ya, pero quería saber, tú ahora vives en Suiza hace bastantes años.
Yes.
¿Por qué eres ciudadana suiza? De hecho, hay una historia que me gusta mucho. Tú tuviste un marido suizo gay.
That's right. Beautiful man. Lovely man. Very sensitive. Very sensible. And so caring. It was his care that attracted to me.
Y por casarte con él obtuviste la nacionalidad, supongo.
Right.
Y ahora vives en Suiza. ¿Y a qué te dedicas ahora? ¿Eres rica, para empezar?
Do you not know every Swiss is rich?
No sé.
Even the refugees.
Eres la única suiza que conozco. I don't know any other Swiss.
Okay. Then I represent Switzerland well.
Okay.
It's not a question of being monetarily rich. I am a rich soul. I have vast amount of experience. This experience of life makes me rich. I came out of the prison, I settled down in Switzerland, and I had to get back on my feet. I could not allow myself to live off people's sympathy or me feeling like a victim. I had to get up. Even if I was a victim, I must get up and get on my feet. And I was missing my parents at that time. Parents were in India. And so I saw in every old person my parent. And I decided to work with them. And I started a nursing home situation. In the beginning with 3 patients, then went to 6 patients, then went to 16, then 34, 37, and now I am at 29 patients. We are a part of the government. My homes are part of the government. I also have a charitable institute, small one, in Mauritius with 19 beds, and that is for poor people. In Switzerland, the Swiss economy is good, they pay us well, and we live well all together.
Casi terminamos. ¿Te arrepientes de algo?
I have one regret. Up till today, I had no regrets, but I have one regret. And this regret is why public is so obsessed with scandals and ignoring the reality. I wish to recommend, please move on. Move on. I have served full sentence of 39 months in imprisonment. I have been punished more than I deserve according to Swiss courts. And now one should move on, not fix yourself with doubts and negativity. You don't know each situation. You cannot judge it. And believe me, I have accepted everything. Even my character is killed 100 times, 1,000 times. Doesn't matter. But let's move on. Let's go forward. I thank you all for being patient and being up so late.
Gracias, Sita. Thank you very much.